Xin Chao, what's up everybody? Alright, we're over in Vinholm's Golden River. I'm moving in a few weeks, so I also got injured on live stream when I helped a family of 3 that had a toddler, a little newborn, that fell over, and then the throttle got stuck on the bike. And we picked the bike up, started to take off, landed on me, exhaust side of my leg, so I gotta be home for the next few days. We're still gonna continue to make content, but in this video, we are going to talk about things and tips for your first time coming to Vietnam. This is going to be a pretty important video. So we're going to break down all the tips. There's lots of new people to the channel and lots of people asking me these questions in the comments. So let's get on to it. Yeah, so in this video, this is going to be really a big tips and tricks and things to do and not do on your first trip to Vietnam. You know, I've been getting a lot of questions. First thing, let's cover this. This is the big thing that often may make a trip sour for some people, is petty theft and how to avoid petty theft. So petty theft is a pretty standard crime here. It's actually probably the biggest crime. And the way that they do petty theft is a lot of people will have this happen to them. They'll be walking around with their cell phone in their hand and crossing a busy street using some kind of Google Maps, because of course they don't know where they're going. And a guy or a girl, could be a girl too, will drive by on a motorbike going about 30 kilometers an hour and just snatch the phone directly out of your hand. It's happened to so many people, including myself. I was victim of this my first 2 weeks here, I want to say, or my first month here. So it's a quick lesson to learn. You don't do it again after that, and since then I have not. But yeah, you want to protect your phone, especially if it's an iPhone. You know, any kind of expensive phone, you want to protect it. Don't have it out in public and be walking across the street. If you want to use it on the sidewalk, kind of turn your body in. That's my best recommendation, so they can't really drive up on you and take it. Now, the likelihood of somebody actually trying to like mug you here is very, very low. That rarely happens. It's crimes of opportunity are really the big crimes here, and that's how it's typically done. It's literally crimes of opportunity. So if some kid, like my guy was a kid, he has a girlfriend on the back, and he snatched it right out of my hands, going maybe 40 kilometers an hour, and she hit him in the head. She was like, "What are you doing?" She was pissed off. So she wasn't very happy with his decision to steal the phone, but nonetheless, it can happen, and an easy way to prevent that is the tips and tools that I just gave you just now. Other things a lot of people ask me about, pickpocketing. That is another big thing. Pickpocketing is mainly done in Hue Vien and Ben Thanh Market. Neither of those have returned to how they used to be. You have to understand that, like, Ben Thanh Market at any given time before COVID had 10,000 people walking around inside of it, maybe 5,000. It was wall-to-wall elbows. Like, you've seen me go in there and shoot a video just recently. It did pretty well. But, yeah, usually you couldn't even walk around that market. It was very much and very difficult to even just walk around. So there's crimes of pickpocketing there, and the easiest way to prevent this is there's two-pronged things to this. So I use zipper pockets. I have a pair on today. Let's see if I can show you. So I have a pair on today, and I wear these a lot. These are my most frequent pair of shoes for out and walking, or shorts, and I use them quite frequently. They work very well. I recommend that you get some zipper pockets for your wallet and put your wallet in a zipper pocket and always keep it zipped at all times. I do not recommend putting all your dong into your wallet either. I would most definitely say you need a man bag. I was anti-man bag before coming here, but getting a little bag across your chest is the best way to carry all your stuff. And you can put stuff in different compartments, hide your bigger chunks of dong, and just never take it off. It's a popular way for a lot of men in Asia to walk around, and it prevents you from losing stuff, and it keeps your stuff more secure. So I would recommend that you definitely get a man bag. I would recommend that you get zipper shorts 100%. It's a real easy way to prevent, you know, crimes of opportunity and pickpocketing. There's some gnarly pickpocketing stuff in Hue Vien. If you are going to be wearing a backpack, those are very susceptible to pickpocketing too. You need to wear it on the front if you're in Hue Vien, and the same with Ben Thanh Market. Put it on the front of your chest so someone can't take stuff out of it. A lot of the pickpocketing in Boivin is done out of backpacks. So when you've got your backpack on your back and you're not necessarily paying attention all that much. Oh, we can walk down here to the pier. It's nice. The weather's pretty decent today. So those are the two main key points that you don't want to make a mistake on, because it can sour your experience here. This video is kind of to give you a way to have a really solid experience here and not get upset if something happens now that you're armed with the knowledge, essentially. Other things I want to talk about. So if you're going to come here on a 30-day e-visa, which is the only way you can come here, know that you can extend that e-visa as many times as you want. Make sure you plan accordingly, though. If you're here for 3 weeks, right, and you're like, oh, I want to stay another 30 days, at least at week 3, file for the new e-visa. And you just do it the same way you got your other one. Plug the dates in for the day the other one expires, and you can go do a Cambodia bus trip, which is pretty easy to do. I think there's some other YouTubers that have outlined exactly how to do it. But it's a pretty easy process. It's going to take about 5 hours out of your day if you're in Saigon. So you can stay longer. Just make sure you plan ahead of time. Do not, wait until the last minute, because sometimes those things can take up to a week. They said they got it down to 2 or 3 days. I don't know. I haven't heard back from anybody on that. I would imagine that's not a stretch. That's 2 to 3 days. Now, it should be more instant. I don't know how it's not all computerized. It sounds like they're actually having someone manually do paperwork, which is always weird. Their IT infrastructure here is pretty good, and their IT learning. So I don't understand why they're slow on that kind of mishigash. Okay, over here we've got the new Masteries project, which is finishing up pretty quickly. They're starting to finish the insides on the bottom floors. They've got the top 2 floors, which are the penthouse floors, I do believe, that they're finishing out now. I don't know what these are going to rent for. It's going to be interesting to see. I reckon, like I said, to get your money back, you'd probably have to rent it like $3,500 for it to be any kind of good investment. We'll see what happens. So the next thing I want to talk about is bugs and insects and spiders and all this stuff. Do you need to worry too much? Not really. I don't have a problem with mosquitoes here. When it is the rainy season in Da Nang and Nha Trang, you will definitely see mosquitoes at night, so you might want to be bringing some bug repellent for those places. But as far as here, I don't deal with it much. I guess sometimes at night here, yeah. At night it can be a little bad. Like if I came out here and sat out here at 10 p.m. or something, you might get some mosquito bites coming at you and stuff like this. Nice little view of the river here with the new bridge going over to District 2. So yeah, we're going to be at home for the next few days. I'm going to be updating all the Patreon stuff. This is just a little break. I'm going to be updating Patreon stuff, adding a bunch of new content to Patreon, dropping the Patreon's only podcasts. I'll be filming that. We're going to film a couple cooking videos at home since people are requesting those. Also, if you do like this video, I'd appreciate it if you liked, commented, and subscribed. Hit the bell button all to see when I go live and to see videos right away like this when they come out. We will continue to shoot 2 videos a day and have 2 videos a day come out Monday through Sunday. Usually the process for Friday and Saturday is 1 video a day and 1 live stream. So that's going to keep going. We're going to keep her moving. I'll only be down and out for a couple days. I just want to leave the burn open and then put the cream on it and not wrap it, because it takes like 8 times longer. I've gotten muffler burns on my leg before. This is nothing new for me. It's not that bad. It's like 1st degree, but it is pretty big. So I just want to kind of do the initial healing pretty quickly and not really be out and about and exposing it to all kinds of stuff. This is pretty much the farthest I'll come outside for the next few days. And then we move apartments in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So we'll be moving soon as well. So lots of exciting things coming up. So let's jump back into the video. I figured I'd wait 10 minutes to drop that information in. I don't know if I necessarily like talking about the Patreon, all that right at the beginning. But, we're trying out different and new formats as we go along. So this is Sunwha Pearl over here. So clothes. So as far as clothing for a guy, in my opinion, you need to bring 2 pairs of shorts, a couple shirts, and buy whatever else you need in like a market. A Bentham market or a Saigon Square. I wouldn't be loading up on a bunch of clothing. Maybe bring a pair of pants if you can really climatize like that. I have never worn pants here. I couldn't imagine wearing pants in Saigon. Only maybe if I had some kind of job that made me wear pants. Other than that, I would never wear pants here. You don't need a sweater or a coat or anything even long sleeved. I literally wear like a t-shirt like I'm wearing now. Like a t-shirt like this and shorts, like pretty much. And I usually wear my Crocs with socks because my feet sweat too much and that would just destroy my feet if I wore them without socks on. And then when it rains, great thing about Crocs, and I do recommend you get Crocs if you come here. You can buy them here or bring them ahead of time. They're a phenomenal product here because you can just take your socks off when it rains, and it does rain here frequently, and just wear your Crocs through the rain, get all the nasty water on it, go dry them off, put your socks back on after it rains, and Bob's your uncle, you're back in good shape. So yeah, as far as traveling around the country, there's many ways to do it. You can fly, there is a train. If you're gonna do the train, rent out the entire room. My first experience on the train wasn't the best. Some older couple hustled us for our upper seats, and the bottom ones were kind of terrible. The guy made up all this stuff in Vietnamese, my wife. He was totally fine. Not that big of a deal, but it's so cheap. I would just buy a whole room. I think it's 4 tickets and you get a whole room to yourself. So if you're gonna take the train, there's sleeper buses, which usually the big sleeper buses is okay. You're not gonna get in too much of a problem there. Those wreck on occasion. One burned up recently, but everybody got out. The small limousine that you take to like Vung Tau, those however do get in accidents. It's kind of, you know, you're probably gonna be 99% fine, but it is kind of a scary ride. The guy is driving like a NASCAR driver. He wants to maximize the amount of trips he can do to Vung Tau and Saigon in one day. So they drive like crazy. The last one I took, me and a Vietnamese had to actually be like, dude, you've got to slow down. Like it's usually just me freaking out, but even like a Vietnamese was like, whoa, bro, you're splitting lanes. Like you need to just slow down. Like we don't need to risk our lives so you can get one more trip in. So that's the transportation thing. Flying's pretty easy. Vietjet offers the cheapest thing. If it's just you and just a backpack, maybe Vietjet. But Vietjet is the trashiest, shittiest airline ever. It's very, very difficult to get me to go on Vietjet. They upcharge on everything. 7 kgs is their weight limit. And it's like a roll of the dice if she's going to weigh your backpack or not. For the most part, usually if I just have a backpack and nothing else, they don't even ask. I just turn around, she puts the little thing on it. Or I just hope she doesn't see it and get on the plane. But Vietjet, I do not like. Vietnam Airlines is a superior airline in all ways. So is Bamboo. So if you can get those two, that's the way to go. Other things that'll make your trip really easy here is like Grab. There's a Grab app, so you want to download Grab, Grab. You can take a Grab car or a Grab motorbike. You can also take taxis. Taxis are okay. Grab car is going to be the cheapest way to travel by car. And if you want to take the motorbike, that's the cheapest way. I prefer to take the car. The Grab drivers on bike also are trying to maximize the amount of trips they can do in a day, so they can drive pretty crazy. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll have an older guy that drives slow, but I do not like when someone on a scooter is in control of everything, you know. There is lots of accidents here. Motorbikes are like the number 7 thing behind like cancers and shit like this that kill people in this country. So like I said, I had just witnessed an accident where a dude and his wife and their newborn baby, she was holding it in the middle. They wrecked pretty bad. It was on stream. I had to jump up, you know. Thankfully, nobody really got too hurt. And then his bike started to take off, so we got that taken care of. It all resolved itself, but it's just not something that I would recommend. I've talked about all this stuff before, but there's new people to the channel, and I wanted to condense it all into one video. Also, I would not make Vietnam your first motorbike experience. This is not the country to learn how to drive a scooter, even if it's automatic. It's a tremendously terrible idea. I don't care what anyone says, you're not going to change my mind on that. The way that driving goes here is very insane, and if you've never even ridden a scooter or a motorcycle, this is not the place where you want to make that your first experience. This is the last place that you would want to make this your first experience. I recommend, if you're gung-ho about traveling around Vietnam on a scooter or a motorcycle, start taking lessons and practice at home. Get your motorbike license, learn all the laws. You know, there are no real motor laws here, as we've talked about in other videos, but just because there aren't here doesn't mean that you still shouldn't practice them. It's an easy way to never get pulled over and to never wreck. I drive very slow. I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere. There's no point in being in a hurry to go anywhere. Just drive slow and you'll get there. Like I said, I don't recommend this being your first place to learn how to drive a scooter or a motorbike. It's just not a tremendously great idea. Also, you have to understand that this is not Western society here. You be humble, be grateful that you're able to travel and that you're in a new country. Do not try to bring Western ideas of how things are going to go down. It's one of the things I've been talking about a lot is I don't like the customer service here, but don't let it affect you. You can't, you know, especially if you're here on a trip, just understand that things are done differently and you can get some great customer service here. It's just as a whole, the country does not really practice customer service. There's so many people, especially Saigon, and things are coming, people are coming no matter what. So you get what I'm saying. Be you know, happy that you're here and don't try to like apply shit in the West. I've only started to do that now because I've almost been here 3.5 years. So you tend to start, you know, seeing what you don't really like after a while. And that's one of the things I don't like is some of the places have zero trying at customer service. Some do. It's far less than do's, though. There's a lot less that don't practice customer service than there is people practicing customer service. You're going to get great customer service at like a 5-star hotel, of course. Anything that's pricey, an expensive restaurant. Usually the Western expat bars are going to give you good customer service, especially if you're a repeat customer, you know, and if you're tipping the people when you go there, you're going to get good customer service there. But as far as other stuff, that's debatable. Some people will have different opinions. There's going to be people on all different kinds of opinions on this video. So go ahead and leave your opinion in the comment section and we can talk about it. So let's generate some comments about tips and tricks you guys would recommend for people that have already been here to Vietnam. I'm trying to maximize people's trips when they come here. The cash thing, this is asked a lot too. I would not bring loads of cash. I'd bring $1,000 at max. You know, the dong is still weak to the dollar, so you can still make a little bit of money by doing the service. Now, of course, if you've got an ATM or a bank that waives all foreign transaction fees, there's many that do, you're good to go. You don't even need to bring any money. So there's ATMs everywhere. They accept cards from all over the world. You'll have zero problems pulling money out of an ATM. As far as bringing the hundreds, they need to be crisp, brand new $100 bills, or it could affect the exchange rate. So make sure you bring brand new ones. As far as credit cards, I couldn't believe I actually had to make a video about this. It wasn't until I met a subscriber. Shout out if you're watching, dude. Nice guy. But have more than one debit card with you. You know, don't just rely on one account. You should already have more than one checking account anyways. So definitely bring multiple credit cards and multiple debit cards. So if you do lose one or leave one in an ATM, you've got a solution for yourself and you're not having to figure out ways to get money like Western Union or something like this. So be responsible on that end. And the biggest thing is mind your stuff. The biggest takeaway I want from this video is mind your possessions, mind your things. You know, make sure you're not leaving a bag at a coffee shop when you go somewhere. Don't leave a bag somewhere. You know, there's a very high chance you will not get it back. Like if you were, say, on Winway and you left a bag. That's why on a live stream, I think about a year ago, a guy left a backpack. We were walking around live streaming and there was a backpack on the bench. And I knew somebody had left it there. I wasn't sure if it was a tourist or an actual Vietnamese. So on the live stream, we just sat by the bag and I just walked around it to make sure nobody would, you know, try to steal it. You can kind of tell when a bag someone is, when it's not. I'd say after 10 minutes, the guy came running. This kid came literally running back for this bag. And this bag actually had like $10,000 of camera equipment in it. I couldn't believe he even left it there. But the guy was so stoked, and it was such a shock for him because 9 times out of 10 in that situation in Vietnam, that bag would have just been taken and he would have got nothing back. But the guy was so shocked, he wanted to give me 10 million dong. And I just told him, no, man, so it's okay. I just did it to help you out. Like, it's fine. Be happy that you got your stuff back in kind of broken English and Vietnamese. So that worked out for him, but that scenario might not happen for you. Now, these things apply to a lot of countries. Even in America, I'm not leaving my shit somewhere. I don't think I would leave my bag with my wallet and phone at a Starbucks while I'm going to the bathroom. Sorry, I'm just not. I'm more careful with my stuff, and I don't think that's a fantastic move to make, in my opinion. So a lot of this stuff applies to a lot of different places. There's a lot of places in America where somebody would try to take your phone if you're out walking around and do it. Of course, there's a bunch of places that that's not going to happen, but these are kind of things you can apply pretty much everywhere. As far as staying at a hotel and getting robbed, I've never really seen that here or heard stories of people breaking into hotel rooms here. I have met a couple expats that bought some bag some other YouTuber sells where it's unstealable. If they want your bag, your unstealable bag isn't going to do a thing. They'll just take apart the table. They'll figure out other ways. Like, if they're going to take it, they're going to take it. But as far as getting stuff stolen in a hotel room, never really heard of it. Most hotel rooms, if it's a 3-star above, is going to have a safe in it. I recommend you use the safe. It just creates an extra step if someone is going to try to do that. And that's really the crimes here, and the things and the tips you want to do. There's not much to it. It's pretty easy living here. It's pretty easy living traveling. Most people have a tremendous time coming back here, and most people are repeat tourists here. The reason why I think tourism is down right now is it's down everywhere. You know, we're in the middle of a recession going on worldwide. Not too many people are keen to spend thousands of dollars on world travel right now, unless, say, they have a bunch of money. So I think just tourism's down in a hole. I think Thailand's even still down. They posted some other numbers of like returning, and it's just not tremendous numbers anywhere. I think after, you know, things calm down with Russia, hopefully, and all this stuff, and we'll see if we really do go into a recession. I think then we'll see probably an uptick in tourism in about a year. And Vietnam will definitely see an uptick in tourism this winter. People are already here. I'm already seeing tourists. We saw it in Ben Thanh Market. If I went to Winway, there'd be people taking a tour right now. We see it everywhere. So as far as boat tours on the lake, I don't know if you necessarily need to do that. It's not much to see. My suggestion for that would take one of the cruises over by the new wharf. It's on the other side now. I think you got to go over to D4. You got to cross that bridge and go over to D4. But there's a bunch of good cruise restaurant places there, and you can do it that way. So that's the video. I don't want to go too long on it. I think I got everything. Again, if I left something out, you guys drop it in the comments. As far as food, make sure you go to a reputable place. We already did a video on that. If you want to banh mi, go to a banh mi that's got a bunch of reviews and a bunch of people are eating at. Same with any kind of street food where people are eating. Ones that no one's eating at, I'd probably be hesitant. So that's the video. Thanks for watching. Stay frosty. See you on the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.